All right, Chapter 5. We're starting it up this week. Should be pretty exciting time. I know last time, dirt formation, kind of blah. But this one deals with a lot of the cool stuff about how all this stuff gets moved around, the erosion and the deposition, basically the moving and the dropping off of all the materials. Well, you can see out here we have two vocabulary words. We have erosion, which is the process where things are picked up and moved from one place to another, and deposition is where they get dropped off. Now, how does that happen? Well, water can carry things away. Rivers carry a lot of sediment in there. If you look at the Mississippi River, it's muddy. The water is carrying lots of debris. It's carrying lots of dirt with it, and eventually it does get dropped off. That's the deposition part. Wind can erode. Strong winds can pick up even tiny little pieces of rock. If you've ever been outside, maybe during a softball game or something, and a gust of wind picked up and it just whipped a whole bunch of dust across the field, you could feel the field, the sand hitting you in the legs, and that's erosion as well. And the last one was ice. Most people don't think about ice as being something that can move things, but glaciers, as they move downhill, as they advance downhill, they actually can carry rocks and soil with them, and then as they carry it with them, they eventually will drop it off. Now, gravity has a huge part, plays a huge role in causing these things to move, especially like with the glacier. But there's also stuff called mass wasting. That's when like a huge amount moves downhill, either rock or soil or a combination of both those. Gravity helps pull it all the way downhill. Now, one of the things that we'll talk about with mass wasting of rock is a rock fall. Now, that's maybe one or two or three little pieces falling and off of a hill and rolling down to the side. They're all by themselves. Now, a rock slide is completely different. A rock slide, you get a huge mass of rocks flying down the side of the hill. We'll show you a video here in a little bit. It's going to be just, it made me go, wow. We have mud flows. Well, it's a flow of mud, basically the debris and the water. If it's get an area full of lots of rain and moisture where the ground can't hold it, the moisture in anymore, some of that mud and the soil just acts like mud and it just slides down the hill. And I'll show you a video of one of those things going on too. As far as slump and creep, I don't necessarily have a video to show what those things look like, but I do have some pictures and we can look at those. Here are all the things that we are going to be talking about here in 5.1. This one talks about deposition. Here's the pictures kind of just showing things getting dropped off. Erosion, that's this. You can see this whole area got washed away by water. This area, this gully got washed away by water. This got washed away by water. Rock falls. Here's the one rock that fell. Rock slides, a whole bunch of them fell. Right here you can see a nice picture of a mud flow. Here's a slump. A big chunk of this whole part right here just slumped away from the original side of the hill. And then over here we have creep. Now, I'm not talking, this guy is not a creep. I'm talking about how the fence line, if you look right here, goes straight, 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 straight. But then over here it moves. It's moved 3 feet. A creep is a very slow movement. If we look at this little video of erosion and deposition, it's only about 30 seconds or so. But basically what it's showing is, hopefully what it's showing, you got land here, it's being worn away by the rain, it erodes, it moves, and then the waves come in and erode it even more, and then it deposits it at the bottom. Seashells being deposited, animal bones being deposited at the bottom. So that one right there, just an example of what deposition is. Where did I go? There we go. This one right here kind of shows both. Now this one's a little longer. It's showing a couple of friends playing a video game, I believe. Zoe and RJ, I think, are studying for a test in science. It's about 3 minutes.
Bam! There you go. That's how we do.
Oh, you got it, you got it. Let me move it out of the way.
Nice. You're good, Zoe. Come on, let's play one more time.
Oh, I really can't. I've got to study for that weathering and erosion quiz tomorrow.
Zoe, playing super duo breaker and whoosh is just like studying weathering and erosion.
Somehow I think my teacher might disagree.
No. Check it out. In the game, Breaker and Whoosh are a superhero duo. They work together and change the land. Breaker breaks things down, and Whoosh carries them away.
And what does that have to do with studying?
Weathering and erosion work together just like Breaker and Whoosh. They're a scientific super duo. Weathering is the breakdown of materials in the Earth's crust into sediment. If weathering were a superhero, it would be Breaker.
Actually, that sort of makes sense.
Erosion is when weathered rock is carried away by gravity, water, wind, and ice. If erosion were a superhero, it would be Whoosh.
You're right. Weathering and erosion work together and change the Earth, just like a pair of superheroes.
Right. Think of weathering as a superhero that acts in different ways and breaks things down. It breaks down rocks with water. It wears things away with wind. It can even scorch or freeze the Earth with temperature, cracking and breaking it apart. When weathering acts like this, it's called physical weathering.
Wow.
That's only the beginning. There's another whole side to weathering's personality. Chemicals in the air mix with water to make acid rain that eats away at limestone rocks. Oxygen reacts with iron and forms rust. That's chemical weathering.
Then, after weathering is done breaking things down, his trusty sidekick, Erosion, steps in.
Yeah, erosion swoops in and picks up the pieces, carrying them away. Erosion knows how to move, and it does it all sorts of ways. It's the flow of water that moves rocks and sand, the push of the wind that carries sediment away, even the movement of a glacier dropping pieces of rock at the bottoms of oceans and lakes.
Glaciers move?
Yeah, glaciers are giant moving rivers of ice. They carry along pieces of rock and then drop them as they move.
Weathering and erosion really are like a super duo. Who knew?
You knew. You just needed to stop playing all those video games and think.
Oh, look who's talking.
So, you want to play another game?
Let's see if I've got this weathering and erosion song and dance down first. Weathering and erosion work together and change the environment. Weathering breaks things down and can be physical or chemical. Erosion actually moves the sediment that weathering leaves behind. Together, they're constantly changing our environment.
Looks like someone just got all their studying done.
Thanks to your help.
We're a pretty super duo ourselves.
There you go. And the bell tells us that one is over. So that right there, a lot of review from the previous chapter, but still moving on into this chapter. Like I said, we don't have a picture for Slump or for Creep. I do have a little video clip about a mud flow, excuse me. Here it comes. Now if you look at this, once I hit play, this whole area right here is mud that's being washed down from the mountains in the back. You can kind of see them in the background. Just got a lot of rain in an area in a short amount of time, and watch what's happening here. You can see this mud flow. Yeah, I'll just bring it back here so we can see it a little bit better. You can see it's just moving like a river. This is all just mud coming down. It actually runs into the semi-truck here. And watch what it does to it. It just takes him and moves him. The power of all this mud flow coming down just pushed him off the road down into the ditch and started burying him. So, I mean, there's a lot that's going on here, and you can still see it moving. And then eventually, it just comes to a stop, and the mud flows over. But crazy how it buried that. And then this one right here, this goes a rock slide, and if we can get to that. Yeah, this one right here is very interesting. This one shows a rock slide, and it's, let's see, I think it's this one right here. The Tennessee highway crew was out fixing when one rock fall happened. Sorry about that, I pushed the button too early. But you can see there's a crew here taking care of this one rock that fell down, and watch what happens here. I think it's, yeah, it's this one right here. And you can kind of hear things going on here. A couple rocks fall, a couple here and there, and then watch this. The whole side of the mountain here slides down over the road. Now they had just got done clearing out an area that was stone just minutes before, and now you can see all of that. So, I mean, you can see rock slides just show a lot of damage. And I think that's it. I think mud flow we showed, a rock slide, which is a lot of rocks. That's where the whole mountain kind of came down the side. Rock fall, that's just one or two rocks falling. We saw some erosion in the videos, and deposition is just dropping it off. So you can see how that really has a lot of force shaping the earth. So anyway, hopefully you got a lot of good notes out of this, and I hope it helped you out seeing some of the visuals. We'll get into the next section real soon.